Hello and welcome. Today, you will learn English through another motivational story. This is episode 11 of David's Journey. In the last episode, David attended a presentation workshop and spoke in front of strangers for the very first time. Although he was nervous, he found the courage to stand up and share his dream. Now, the results are finally here. Let's begin. The week felt longer than usual. Every morning, David checked his email before leaving for work. Every afternoon, he checked it again. Every evening, he opened his inbox one last time before going to bed. Although he tried to stay calm, the competition was never far from his thoughts. Whenever his phone vibrated, his heart beat a little faster. Whenever a new email arrived, he opened it immediately, hoping it would contain good news. But day after day, there was nothing. Friday finally arrived. That afternoon, David was sitting alone at his desk when his phone buzzed. He looked down and immediately recognized the sender. Young Entrepreneurs Challenge. His stomach tightened. For a moment, he simply stared at the screen. Then, taking a deep breath, he opened the email. His eyes moved slowly across the words. The room seemed to become silent. Very silent. Thank you for participating in the Young Entrepreneurs Challenge. We received many excellent applications. Unfortunately, you have not been selected for the final stage. David stopped reading. His chest felt heavy. He read the message again. Then, a third time. The answer did not change. He had not been selected. For several minutes, he sat quietly, staring at the screen. Part of him felt disappointed. Another part felt embarrassed. He had allowed himself to imagine success. He had imagined receiving good news. He had imagined moving one step closer to his dream. Instead, he was reading a rejection email. That evening, David walked through the city alone. The streets were as busy as they always were, but everything felt different. The sounds seemed quieter. The lights seemed dimmer. His thoughts would not leave him alone. Maybe I wasn't good enough, he thought. Maybe my idea wasn't strong enough. Maybe I should not have gotten my hopes up. Just then, his phone rang. It was Daniel. David hesitated for a moment before answering. Hello. Well? Daniel asked. Did you get the email? David looked down at the pavement. Yeah. There was a brief pause. And? Daniel asked. David sighed. I didn't make it. The silence that followed felt uncomfortable. Finally, Daniel spoke. I'm sorry. So am I, David replied. For a few moments, neither of them said anything. Then Daniel asked a question. Would you have been happier if you never applied? David frowned. What do you mean? If I had never given you that envelope, would you feel better today? David thought carefully about the question. At first, the answer seemed obvious. Of course, he would feel better. There would be no rejection, no disappointment, no frustration. But then he remembered something. He remembered standing in front of 40 strangers. He remembered introducing himself. He remembered speaking, even though he was terrified. He remembered walking into the workshop when every part of him wanted to turn around and go home. Slowly, his answer changed. No, David admitted. No? No, I wouldn't feel better. Daniel smiled. Why not? David looked up at the city lights. Because, despite everything, He knew the truth. Because I did something I never thought I could do. For the first time since reading the email, he felt a little lighter. The rejection still hurt, but it no longer felt like failure. A few days later, David visited Mr. Peterson. The older man listened carefully as David explained everything. From the application and the workshop to the presentation and the rejection. When David finished speaking, Mr. Peterson nodded. "Good." David blinked. "Good?" "Very good." David laughed. "I just got rejected." "I know. Then why are you smiling?" Mr. Peterson leaned back in his chair and folded his arms. Because most people spend their lives avoiding rejection. David listened carefully. They avoid opportunities. They avoid challenges. They avoid risks. Then, years later, they wonder why nothing ever changes. The room became quiet. Mr. Peterson continued. "You tried." David said nothing. "You were brave enough to put yourself out there. You were brave enough to risk failure. Most people never do that." David had never thought about it that way. For the first time, he realized something important. Success teaches lessons, but failure teaches lessons too. Sometimes, the lessons are even more valuable. As David walked home that evening, he felt different. The disappointment had not completely disappeared. However, something else had appeared beside it. Experience. He had learned something. He had grown. And nobody could take that away from him. Just as he reached his front gate, his phone vibrated. A new message appeared on the screen. It was from Daniel. David opened the message and read it. There was only one sentence. "Meet me tomorrow. I have an idea." David stared at the screen for a moment. Then, slowly, a smile appeared on his face. He didn't know what Daniel's idea was. He didn't know what would happen next. But one thing was certain. Whatever came next, he was ready for it.